All right, we're sitting here with Andrew Meador. That's how you pronounce it, correct?
Yep, Andrew Meador.
Okay. Um, you just released an album called Second to None, so we wanted to get together and do a quick little interview of just you and how the album came about. So I guess the first question is going to be just tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you started in music.
Yeah, so I'm 29 years old and just moved to Memphis, and then now just moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm I'm a high school chemistry teacher, and by Sunday I'm a worship leader. I love science, and I love music. I love Jesus above everything else, and so my passions are kind of varied, but everything's kind of unified under that umbrella of Jesus.
Very cool.
So for music-wise, I got into leading worship and playing music. I started playing trumpet in middle school, and then I started playing bass because I loved playing all the high notes with trumpet, but then I missed the low notes, so I started playing bass to get the low notes. And it wasn't until my junior year in college that I started leading worship.
Very nice. All right, so I guess that answers the how long have you played in church, but has there been any like off periods where you've been out of playing in church for a while for any reason?
Yeah, no, there really hasn't been. I've been leading worship since my junior year in college when I started playing guitar, and that was around 2007. So I was leading worship in my college church. Then when I graduated, I was a worship pastor for 5 years in Indianapolis, and then moved here for a year. It's just been a joy to serve at High Point and lead music there, and then now I'm serving at a church in Chattanooga now.
Very cool. All right, how long have you been writing music?
So that 2007, when I started playing guitar, that was a major time for me because I started to write music, and I was actually inspired to start writing music because my favorite band was Pedro the Lion. David Bazan's the frontman, songwriter, and I was just really struck by how he could tell a story with a song, and his music was really visceral. It made me feel something when I listened to it, and so I started writing music, and around that time God was redirecting me. Long story short, I wanted to be a university science professor in France, but God took me another route, and turns out that other route was leading worship. And so I'm so grateful for that, so thankful that he redirected me. And since that time, I've just been going at it with all I've got.
Awesome. On top of that, you mentioned that you play guitar, bass, and trumpet. I also knows that you play double bass. What else do you play?
Yeah, so my main instruments are trumpet, upright bass, and guitar, like acoustic, electric. I dabble in keyboards some, and I would say I could probably play any stringed instrument. Like mandolin's something that I kind of play. I don't claim to play it because I'm not that good at it, but I can make it work for me. I guess the ukulele in the same way.
I think I can agree with that too. All right. We'll get the pictures up on the screen. So what's your number 1 and 2 guitar?
Okay, so my number 1 is definitely my 2007 American Fender Strat. I love that guitar. I love the sound of a Strat. It's probably my most versatile guitar, and so I love playing that. I love the way the neck feels. I love the body, the contour. I love the craftsmanship on it. That's definitely my number 1. My number 2 used to be Epiphone Dot with some beefed up pickups, but I recently got a 1963 reissue Epiphone Firebird, and I just love that thing. It's got 3 mini humbuckers in it, and maybe it's just because of it's got the sparkle and the dazzle, and it's new, but I'm playing that a lot more than my Epiphone now.
Yeah, Firebirds are sweet guitars, so I don't blame you on that. pedals, I guess you can either walk us through your entire board or just pick your favorites. But I'm sure we'll have a picture of that up too if you want to walk us through it.
Yeah. So I won't go through my whole board. I mean, I can show you a picture, but some of my favorite pedals, I've got two favorite pedals. One would be the Strymon Deco, and that was that sort of modulation, the kind of flange chorus effect was really missing from my pedal board, and I got that, and it's just been amazing. And it's one of the few pedals I've actually had to save up for, so it's kind of more gratifying because it was more deliberate. The second pedal, this is my always-on overdrive, the Raven Overdrive, and it's from Rockstock Pedals, which is a company in Columbus, Indiana. So they're from Indiana. They're dear to my heart. But this pedal is just awesome. It's all over the album, and I just love how it colors my tone.
Yeah, I kind of meant to ask you to bring that so I could have tried it out a little bit, but we'll get that for next time. Amps or amp, depending on what you have. What's your favorite amp that you use?
Yeah, so my favorite electric guitar amp that I have, I've got a little Fender Frontman amp. It's like a 10 watt, and that's great for practices and travel. But my main is a Vox AC15 C1. I've run that thing to the ground playing it so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just love that. In terms of bass. Oh, okay.
Okay. Hopefully we can make it through.
Yeah. In terms of bass, I've got a Fender Bassman amp that
Reissue or original?
original. It gets me through. That was kind of I got grandfathered into that one from my dad. So that's a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, I got one of those too, and it is pretty. Let's go ahead and talk about your album here. You want to hold that up?
Yeah.
We'll put a link to this down in the description. But is there a backstory to the album? I guess I would also include the title track. Is there a backstory behind any of that?
Yeah, so my band is called Augustus, and since I moved to Memphis, to Tennessee from Indiana, the band has really just become me. I don't have any of my buddies back home around me anymore, so it's kind of a solo project now. But the band is Augustus. The title is called Second to None, and Second to None just to me is really important because it means Jesus is second to none. Like Jesus is it. He's a real deal. He's the ultimate.
For sure.
And the title and the title track, Second to None, comes from Colossians 1:15 through 18. And it's a very beautiful passage in Scripture. It's called the Colossian Hymn. And there was a point in my life when I was a worship pastor in Indianapolis that for a whole year straight, all I could read was that passage. It was so rich, it was so deep, it was so meaningful to me that I was still uncovering new things every time I would read it. And so I was just fixated and focused on that passage for a whole year. And so that really caused me to write a lot of songs around that theme of, Jesus is second to none. Let's just come out and say it. Like, he is everything. He's it. He's seated high above. He's before all things. So that's the theme of the album.
Very cool. How long did it take you to record this project? I know you think you went to Nashville a few times to record this, or was it local? Or
Yeah, it was all local. Okay. In Indianapolis. My drummer had a home studio, and we gratefully were able to record it there. I started writing these songs 4 years ago, in 2011. So right when I was in the middle of being a worship pastor, and I was writing the songs partially because of my inspiration from reading the Bible, and then partially as a worship pastor seeing, like, okay, what do we need to sing? Like, what are the words that these young believers in our church, I want them to sing about Jesus, or these people that are at this spot in their life. And so I was writing it for that, and we started recording 3 years ago, and then hit some roadblocks, hit some difficulties, but finally got it released July 31st, 2015.
All right, and you gave us that before the album release date.
Oh,
So that was pretty cool. How long did it take to record?
it took us a solid year of tracking because me and my drummer, we were the producers on it. So we would get home after work, me after teaching him after doing drum lessons, and we would record into the night. And then on weekends we would record, and then like after church we would go and record. So we were doing it just in those little night segments after work.
Awesome. What was your favorite song off the album?
Well, it's tough, you know. It goes back and forth. Some days I really like one song. Some days I really hate a song. It just depends on the mood I'm in. But I would say the standout track to me is Sunrise because the whole album kind of has this modern rock feel, but that's an EDM type of electronic track, and I love the lyrics in that song. I would say it also fluctuates between Holy Lord and Son of Man. Holy Lord I just love to listen to. Sonically, I love the guitar on it, and just the message is really simple. And Son of Man I love because I kind of lean to that dark side of things, the tension and things, and I love how that song captures the crucifixion.
Yeah, I remember asking you about the guitar tones on Holy Lord because they were pretty sweet. And I think you told me that was the Raven that was on for that entire song.
Yeah, that was
the
the
main
Raven and the
overdrive for that?
Epiphone.
Very nice. I guess the last question, what would you like people to take away from the album?
Man, the main thing that I want people to get is just that the message I'm proclaiming is that Jesus is it. You can stop looking after you find Jesus because he's everything and more. All these songs came out of my personal praise time. I didn't sit down and think, okay, let me write a hit song so I can become a full-time songwriter. And, you know, obviously that's a part of it because it's something I love to do, but I'm just gushing my heart for Jesus on this album. And I'm just hoping that people join me in worshiping Christ. Join me in seeing him as he truly is, and joining me and just sharing his kingdom that he's brought to earth.
And the few times I've listened to it over and over, I've definitely felt like just sitting there, whether it's been in the car or at work, just worshiping with you. So
Awesome.
So you're going to do a song for us in a minute. What song are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play Open Heart Surgery.
All right. After that, I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you for coming out and doing an interview with us, and hope you all enjoy. Look up his album on iTunes. Is it anywhere else?
iTunes, Amazon, and CD Baby.
Is that where they can get a physical copy?
Yeah.
Cool. Can they order a physical one off your website?
Yeah.
What's your website?
My website is www.morethanmusic.co, and it's got all my band information, links, my blog, Instagram, Twitter, anything you would want to know to creep on me.
All right, we'll have all of those links down in the description. So again, thank you for coming, thank you for watching, and enjoy the song.
Unclasp my heart, help me release all of my cares to you, like autumn leaves falling to your feet. Reach right into my chest and turn my heart to you, and turn my heart to you. All I have to give selfish dreams, let them die, completely flatlined. Breathe your life in me. Breathe your life in me. Reach right into my chest and turn my heart to you. And turn my heart to you. All I have to give, I lay before you now. I lay before you now. Stop my heart from beating in vain. Resurrect me with mercy and grace. Break the bones that get in your way, till worship rushes through my veins. Till worship rushes through my veins. Till worship rushes through my veins. Reach right into my chest and turn my heart to you. Turn my heart to you. All I have to give, I lay before you now. I lay before you now.